We were talking about it last night, so I went home and rewatched Nightcrawler on Netflix.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
You watched that after we talked about it? We were just talking about that at dinner yesterday.
Yeah. And you told me, it's up on Netflix, and I was like, I saw that in the theater. I want to give it another watch.
Nightcrawler got snubbed last year at the Oscars.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Did he get
nominated for shit?
Oh, it should have. That movie was great.
I really liked it again.
We were talking about it because I brought it up and I said, should I watch it again? Because I did not enjoy it. But Andrew told me, yeah, you know what? I think watch it because I think your expectations might be a little bit different now, and I think you might enjoy it more than the first time you saw it. Which I can understand.
I really enjoyed it. Have you watched it again?
No, I haven't. And that's why we were talking about it.
And we were talking about it. And what I said is when it ended, I was dismissive. I was like, no. This ended. You had something going here, and just kind of, and then the movie farted out, and it ended. And I was pissed at it, and it took time to really soak in the message of it, and I really appreciated it.
I loved it when I saw it, and I felt
Me too.
That movie tells the truth, and the truth hurts.
Exactly. That was my issue with it.
A lot of people couldn't accept kind of the story. They kind of shrugged it off. Like, the movie was ridiculous, and I was like, I think that movie is more true than you realize.
I agree.
How the news is a fucking entertainment show.
Or that there's people like him out there.
And that newscasters get involved in stories and like try to escalate.
I absolutely agree with that.
Simply to entertain people when it's like you're supposed to be reporting on real life stuff.
My problem wasn't with any of those things. I just felt like when I watched it, the stakes were incredibly low, and I felt like it didn't get out of second or third gear. It just kind of like maintained, and then like the climax had like this peak to it that I didn't feel like was super huge. And then it just kind of ended, and I went, I thought it was going to be more than that. So that was it.
I think that there were moral stakes that I was really into. Like, this guy's getting involved in these events.
Right.
And that is, like, he's crossing lines, and that was very exciting to me.
He's fouling evidence.
Yeah, but I never had any...
But it was very, like, low-key stuff.
Yeah, but I never had any doubt that character would do something like that ever. Like, he always struck me as a character that would go to any lengths to get whatever he needed.
Yeah.
He just needed a foot in the door. He got his foot in the door, and then the rest was just him doing anything that he took.
He was an anti-hero. I like it because it's a rags to riches story about a bad guy.
Yeah.
It really is. And his riches, I felt like, were pretty, like, not riches. It was pretty... It ended up being kind of, like, low. But that's it. That's my complaint on that movie. But I think I might watch it again. I just have to kind of gear up for it a little bit.
It was something that really grew on me. But what did you think seeing it another time?
Oh no, I had a great time watching it again. Really just focusing on the character as someone who is not good at communicating with people, and they even call attention to that at a scene in the movie where like, I think you have a problem like talking to other people or whatever. I think Jake Gyllenhaal says something like, it's not that I don't have trouble talking to people, it's just I don't like them. I don't like... It's like there are people out there that do not like other people, and they will use to whatever advantage, like, to benefit themselves.
Yeah, he's a scummy businessman.
Yeah, just honestly, like, you're gonna introduce me to these people, and I want my fucking name in this thing now, and like...
I feel like
he's all fake nice to move himself forward.
Daniel Plainview-esque, where it's just like, he doesn't fucking like people,
but like,
businessmen who had nothing to,
There are businessmen that had definitely operated like that, and I think you could get away with operating like that back in like the 60s and 70s a lot more than you can today. But there are still people out there that are that fucking cutthroat.
Yeah. I also thought it was cool. I feel like that character, like he's off. It looks weird looking at him. And he's not blinking. I don't think he blinks. Like
through a lot of it, I don't think he does.
He just like stares.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some sociopath.
Yeah, it's fucking. I thought he did great. I think that's cool.
Yep.
It reminded me. I got Boogie Nights vibes.
I get that
watching it. Just kind of like that the underbelly of LA.
I was gonna say, I think LA
people.
Drive.
Oh, yeah, you were saying Drive.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Los Angeles and you have that as like your setting, I think you get a lot of those vibes kind of playing through it.
I think there's so many movies about the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles. I like movies about like the shit underbelly.
Yeah.
Have you seen this documentary? I think it's called Los Angeles Plays Itself or LA Plays Itself.
No.
I think it's on Netflix. If it still is, and it's about. I mean, it's like a video essay about this journalist put together about LA in film as like a backdrop, as a setting,
Right.
as a character, as a place to like produce, like why LA became what it was, and then how it was used in film.
Yeah.
And I think you would really like it.
check that out.
It's really, really interesting. I think it's called LA Plays Itself.
You know, Eric, though, going back to what you were talking about with him succeeding in the story, and like it's not, you didn't see it as that big of a success, but that was kind of why I ended up appreciating that story, was that the next day is, this guy is totally within the gears of another day in media, and there's nothing there's nothing unusual about it. And that is that guy's greatest success possible.
I feel like I disagree that he doesn't success, because the movie starts with him like stealing scrap metal, trying to sell it,
he mugs a guy for a watch
and being fucking rejected, and it ends with him basically set up for life. Like, I have my empire now.
Yeah.
I just felt like that character, I never felt like him succeeding or failing in this instance mattered ultimately to the character, because if he failed here, he would have just gone on to another thing to give as much as he gave to this to try to succeed there. There was his stakes felt low, because ultimately it didn't matter whether he succeeded or failed here. He was shown as a character that failed throughout at the beginning, but still got by and didn't really care about this thing. He learned about it, and he became successful at it, but I took that character as, at any point, he could have failed here, packed it up, and done something else.
But that's what was so powerful to me.
Just continue to be a loser.
No, but that's what was powerful to me, is that something as delicate as how people are portrayed, and the powerful role that the media plays in everything, is now in the hands of that guy.
That's interesting.
Is now in the hands of this guy who could be selling scrap metal, but instead did this.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man, that guy's the one showing what you look like.
And I do,
that's what I mean.
I disagree with your point about him continuing to be a loser. I think he would have found success eventually in another field, wherever that might have been. He was shown as just a guy who was looking for his foot in a door. He found his foot in a door, and he just went forward.
He was almost like a crackhead who didn't smoke crack.
Yeah,
he couldn't get a break in life, and so he kind of was at the end of his rope, and was like. That's why it's so, to me, interesting to see him go down this wormhole of like, I'm at a crime scene and I'm manipulating evidence, because you see how this guy, again, he has like crackhead desperation and continues to be successful. Yeah, I liked it. You saw a guy who, should end up in jail, and he keeps getting away. Sure. It's like, almost like, there's another movie, Man Bites Dog, and it's all about following a serial killer. And you just watch him kill people and kill people. The cops never fucking catch him. And it's just like, I don't know, you're just seeing a bad guy get away with doing bad stuff and getting more and more success from doing it.
Yep. But I think this right here, everything that we're discussing is like why... Yeah, maybe you should have just nominated it last year. Like, just in terms of, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know of any other movie I talked about maybe as much last year. But regardless, podcast question of the week, what did you think of the movie Nightcrawler? Email podcast@mega64.com. Give it a yay or a nay. Give it some text as well included in the email. That would describe what an email
Film
is.
yourself watching it, upload it to YouTube.
Film your we're doing a challenge. Everyone out there, film yourself watching the entire movie Nightcrawler, and we will feature, like, on our Twitter and stuff, the best video. I was gonna call it a reaction.
Don't
do that.
Up.
Viewing video.
Yeah, there you go.
Viewing video.
Don't react. Okay, let me rephrase. Film yourself watching the movie Nightcrawler, but not reacting at all.
Yeah, don't react.
The title should be Mega64 fan views and speaks about Nightcrawler.
And upload that, and we will show the best ones.
There you go. We'll show them next week.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Do a view and speak video.
Speak and say. Oh no, that's
No.
trademarked.
Mattel's gonna get pissed.
Anyway, so that's that.
We did it.
Well, we are.
We've only
One
been
more
going for
thing.
18 minutes.
I want to bring up one more thing.
Okay.
What?
Good night.